Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you on board. We are in the unbelievable, beautiful part of the Underberg region, Drakensberg Mountains in South Africa. Now, we're going to be going for some trout as we did last year in our Iris expedition, which is actually out there. If you haven't seen it, check it out, see what it's all about. We're out here fishing a lake today. We were trying to set up for the river systems, but unfortunately I got it 10 days too short because the season only opens in 10 days time. So we've re-rigged, we've adapted, and we've adapted for some lake fishing. Now this particular lake over here, I know it, I fished it as a younger angler, and there are 10-pound plus trout, or at least there were. But the locals at the tackle shop in Underberg told me that they're still out here. So we've got to get out there and we've got to try our luck and see if we can get some of these giants for you guys to see. So join us, let's go have some fun. Come on. It's ultimately important to really make you have a stealthy approach for these fish. I do like to wear camo. It's a great way to sort of blend into your backgrounds because you don't want to be standing out at all. You have to get quite close to the water if you're fishing from the banks. So camoed out, got all my equipment here, everything I need. Camera on the chest, of course, but all my floatants, sinkants, all my pliers and my cutters, got everything I need, flies, you name it. I've got everything to be versatile and to be able to move and be active on this particular stretch of water. How are we doing?
I'm okay. I just had to go for barbless hooks.
Yeah.
I've got myself in the cheek, I've got myself in the elbow, been slapped in the back of the head about 4 times. But I know the theory is supposed to cast over your left shoulder. I'm not very good at it. But
Yeah.
this is what you learn in the river very quickly. You learn very quickly about casting in the river. Because if you do not adapt your cast in the river, you are in trouble.
Yeah, that's it. So my theory at the minute, what I'm going for, guys, is I'm actually targeting the top water. I saw one fish come up and hit on the top.
Okay. So
And,
they're already starting.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
so I've gone
I'm
up from there. The other thing is like what I would usually do is I would fish it towards me, so I'd fish into the wind.
Yeah.
With that, with the wind blowing in towards me and that fly coming towards me like that. That's what
they're going to be facing into the wind.
Yeah, so that's what I usually do. But I'm trying I'm going to move along the wall slowly like that and just see if I can get something to come up and grab it.
Something will come up, especially between the island and the wall. There's always something comes up.
Yeah.
I think he's resident.
Yeah, it's over there. I saw one come up for something, so I'm just going to give it a go. I'm starting early on that, but I don't think they're underneath right now. I think they're going to take.
I've got an indicator in my pocket, but I've never really fished in the indicator, so I'm kind of reluctant to do it. But I wanted the experience of it, so I've got to make a decision. Robbie, you're going to knock about all day. You're actually going to try and catch something. Yeah,
little strike indicators. Yeah, I got the putty, the putty. I use the little putty if I need a strike, but I've got orange lines, so I can see the line now. It's very, very bright. I was not expecting to have orange.
I'm doing a little mend and going for field because I reckon it's all about the field.
All right, well, we're all on a different perspective, eh? That's what we need to be. Now, that was Rob we just met. He's a local guy, very enthusiastic fisherman, and enjoying his stories. And hopefully we'll see a little bit more of him and maybe of fish, and maybe he can share a few things that we can obviously take forward and take in and use ourselves. But I'm going to keep on going. It's 3 p.m. right now. The sun's come out again. I'm expecting a hatch. I've started early on that dry fly approach, and but I've got a feeling that if it's a resident fish moving in this area and it's just there enough times, he may come up. At least just swirl in it a little bit to see if they're active. Again, the theory is to try to get that bite by putting that dry fly up ahead of my line. Now I'm using orange line so I can definitely see it. Don't need a strike indicator or anything. And the fly shooting out 9-10 foot in front of that, so the trout won't see it. And what's going to give it away really is a little ripple in the water. You've got to watch that fly to make sure that you know when it gets taken, because if you don't get the strike right, you won't get the fish. So I'm lifting, I'm bringing it down with the wind. I'm lifting, I'm bringing it down with the wind, looking for a resident fish on this damn wall. Looks good though, looks good. Sun's just come out, and the cool thing about that is there may be a hatch. That's what we're after. We're after that hatch that'll come, and that brings the top water bite on. So keep on working, keep on angling. That's really what we've got to do. So dry flying's not on yet, and I'm going to change it up to one of my secret weapons for this particular region. And people know this fly here. Of course, it's a woolly bugger, and people always talk about, you know, should we go black, should we go olive? So what I've done is I've built a fly that does both. Look at that little sucker there. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us the best of both worlds. I've had some very good success on this one, that's why I know. So I'm going to tie it on now, and I'm going to do some strip retrieving, because it's a little bit early for that top water, but it's coming. The top water's coming. You've got to watch, you've got to stay alert, you've got to see what's going on, and that's how you find those bites. Let's get this on. Let's get some strip retrieving. Change up when things aren't working. Change up. Here we go. So just tying this beautiful woolly bugger, custom woolly bugger, onto the line now, and just using a knot that I use for a lot of my hooks, just tightening on it. It is strip retrieving, so you want it to go straight and you want it to hold. That's not holding. So this is the knot you just go through, dealing with very, very thin line, straight through the eye like that. Twist it 7 times about, come through that loop, difficult in the wind and the elements, and then just tighten it back on itself like that, and then put it tight onto the fly, and it's got a lock. Yep, it's locked. It's locked nice and tight. See, that's what you need. You've got to try and break it. If you can't break it, then you know it's good. Right, this is where you can work a lot of water, and if the fish are not taking on top of the water, it's a nice way to get underneath and just get that fly below the surface. And it is like a lure, so you're strip retrieving just like this, nice and fast. And these dams, I've always had a good success with this. It takes a little bit of patience, but you've got to keep working it, get the fly out there, find your rhythm, and every time you can pull just a little bit off just to get a bit of distance, and then you just let it sink a little bit like that, and then you strip retrieve it towards you. Long strips, short strips, they all like one or the other, so you just got to try both. Some short strips, some slow retrieves. You know, you got to mix it up a little bit, and eventually you'll find something that starts getting those bites. Letting it drop a little bit, there you go, and then a nice little retrieve, just a nice little strip retrieve, and that bait's going in the water like that. Looks like a little minnow, looks like a damsel nymph in the water, moving quite quickly. That excites fish when that happens. So it's always pulling a little bit of extra line off, as you can see, and then I just carry on and I strip retrieve. And the takes are enormous on these. I mean, it just, you know, when that fish hits this thing, it hits it, and it's fish on. So as you can see, the stripper fly is not working either, and we just got one up there with Rob, got one on a slow nymph. So I'm going to try a bit of both worlds. I'm going to try a dropper fly. I'm going to have a dry fly on top, drop it off with a little nymph. So there's that rig. You know, you've got your front fly in the front, which is my humpback Adams, which I made with a little bit of deer hair, and then I've dropped it back by about 40 centimeters with a pheasant tail nymph, and that's the one I've shown you, and that's the one I've done a little show on. And there's the rig setup, nice and tight. And lastly, You just got to get some fly floatant for your front fly. And just stick it on, just like that. And play it through the heckles so it gives it a nice flotation. And then on your other nymph, you can use some sinking gel. So one's floating, one is sinking. And just a little tip that you can use as well, once you've done it on the fly, okay, take it up your line as well so that it drops under the water straight away. So that will now sink just behind your main fly that's floating. Put it all the way up. Now that'll sink underneath and it'll go straight to the fish. Let's go, let's get some fish. Conditions are getting really right for a topwater bite now, and I'm starting to see some activity come up. I think what we've got right now, to be honest with you, is a good pattern. I think this may work. So hopefully I can see my dropper fly beautifully. I can see my dry fly on top. I can see where the dropper fly is. Right behind it I've got a bit of activity right now. Got to watch that dropper fly very carefully, because if it goes, if it just twitches, that means that the fish is there at the nymph. But definitely starting to get some activity now. Well, I'm going to be trying a Zonker strip type minnow imitation, and that sits like that in the water, and it's got a little bead head, orange bead head. The locals swear by that, so I'm going to give it a go, and let's see what it brings. Let's go. Alright everybody, we're on to our maiden fish, but we managed to get one. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Jumping out the water. Exactly what we're looking for. Boy, I've worked hard for this. I've worked super hard for this fish. I had to go to the local stores and speak to them and ask them what was working. Beautiful rainbow on right now. Not going to rush it, just going to keep it going nice so I can get this fish in. It's definitely wanting to take off. I've got 5X Tipperton, so it's not easy. I definitely want to get this fish in, so taking my time on it. There we go, nice. All right, let me get down there. Let me get down there. All right, bit of a rocky climb, but brought my net this time. Just trying to get this fish in now. There we go. There we go. It's not the biggest one in the world, but it's a good one just for us to show that we did well here in the mountains of South Africa. Beautiful rainbow, lovely colors. There she comes, just nice and easy. Nice and easy. And wow, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We managed to hook ourselves the rainbow trout that we were missing, and I've got a lovely gel net just to make sure we don't mess it up, but we finally got our catch. Wow everybody, there she is. Look at that beautiful fish, and just wet your hands before, but boy oh boy have I worked hard to get this catch, and It's been a long time coming. I really had to work hard for it. Right, always wet your hand beforehand when you get the fish, and there it is in the net. I've got this gel net to make sure that I don't harm the fish too much. There she is. She's inside there, and I'm going to get this fly out real quick. There you go, just popped out, and I'm going to hold it up for the camera and then I'll let it go. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, what I came to Africa for. And we were going to fish the rivers, but unfortunately they were closed, so I managed to come out and get ourselves a lovely rainbow trout, and that's going to go back in the water. But what a great trip, and what tough fishing it was here on the Umzimkhulu River. But we got a catch, and that's what it's all about. Right, just releasing this fish back in the water now. Let's make sure we do a good job of it. And you can see she's not doing too well, so just back and forward in the water, back and forward in the water, just like that. Get her kicking up beautiful colors on this fish until she starts kicking on her own. It's only kick on her own now, and that's it. Kicking on her own. There you go, starting. There you go. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. She's gonna hopefully go the right way. Come on, girl. Or boy, whichever one it is. Turning around now, finding her way back. There she goes along the rock. Beautiful fish. And then out towards the main water she goes. Wow, look at that, beautiful and free for the next generation to enjoy. Great catch. Well, there you go, everybody, and what a great event. Coming back from really 17,000 nil down and managing to get that fish right at the end of the day. And man, that has been tough fishing, you know. I wasn't expecting it to be so tough, but it is what it is, and I'm just very glad I got that fish right at the end to show you all. Now, had I stayed a little bit longer, I think I've cracked the code actually. So a lot of trying, a lot of fishing, and finally got that catch. Guys, it's been a pleasure. We're off to Cape Town next, and hopefully some more fishing adventures up ahead. But thank you for watching, and as always, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, check out the new stuff coming out because it's going to be really good. And as always, I'm going to push the envelope of fishing as far as I can for you guys and try and get as much out there for you to enjoy and to take on the water yourselves. Cheers guys, till next time, we'll see you soon.